The world often moves at a relentless pace, rushing from one moment to the next, leaving little room for reflection. But right now, God is calling you to pause, to breathe, to stop, and truly listen. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy to let the important moments slip by unnoticed. Yet this is not just another passing moment. This is the moment that requires your full attention and awareness. As you sit, as you take a deep breath, feel the weight of this time. You're here for a reason, and you are about to receive something significant, something divinely orchestrated just for you. This moment is one of stillness, but in that stillness is a power that can transform the trajectory of your life. Now, as you sit with this awareness, understand that this message is not by accident. It is not a coincidence that you are hearing it at this exact time. The universe, the divine timing of all things, has converged to bring you here to this very moment for a reason. God does not work in coincidence. Everything has been planned out, and what you are about to hear is part of His divine will. The message that is unfolding is urgent. It carries weight beyond simple guidance or advice. It is a turning point, a crucial moment in your journey that, if you allow it, can elevate you into a new phase of growth, peace, and fulfillment. Right now, your spirit is being called to recognize the gravity of the situation. Whether you realize it or not, you are standing at a crossroads, and the decision you make moving forward will carry consequences. The truth that is being revealed to you today is not something to take lightly. God's plan for you is unfolding, and He is inviting you to take part in it, to lean into the truth, to respond with obedience. This moment, though still and calm, is the setup for something much larger. It is the precursor to a new chapter that could change everything. This urgency is not about rushing or forcing things. It is about being awake, being aware, and being ready to respond to what comes next. Your heart is being prepared, your spirit being primed for what is to come. If you have felt a sense of restlessness, a sense that something big is on the horizon, but you haven't quite grasped it yet, know that this message is your invitation to embrace that shift. This is the sign that things are moving, that time is not standing still, and that your life is about to experience something momentous. In moments like these, it's easy to keep rushing forward without fully acknowledging what has just transpired. But the truth is, you cannot move forward without recognizing what has already been laid before you. God has already been working in your life quietly, aligning things, opening doors, closing others, and positioning you for greatness. Take a moment to reflect on everything that has led to this point. Can you see the threads of your life that have been weaving together to bring you here? Recognize the seasons of waiting, the times of trial, and even the quiet moments when you felt like nothing was happening. All of it has meaning. All of it has purpose. And now, as you stand on the precipice of this new season, it's time to acknowledge that the work has been done, the preparation is complete, and it's time to step forward with courage. Acknowledge the weight of this moment. Do not dismiss it or pass it by as just another ordinary experience. This is not just another message. This is the turning of a page in your story. The weight of what has happened is significant. It's divine, it's intentional, and it's meant to propel you into the next phase of your life. Now, as you breathe in, allow your heart to be open. Prepare yourself to receive the truth that God is revealing to you today. Your willingness to receive this truth is the key to unlocking what is about to unfold. God is calling you to step forward in faith, in obedience, and in trust. This is not just a call for action, it's a call for alignment. The work has been done. The question is, will you align with it? Will you trust that the truth you are about to receive is the key to the next stage of your purpose? Trust that as you lean in, as you open yourself to this divine message, everything will begin to make sense. The confusion will start to lift. The uncertainty will start to fade. You will begin to see with clarity what you are being called to do, and the peace that will settle in your heart will confirm that you are in the right place, in the right moment, and ready to take the next step. So pause for a moment, breathe deeply, and prepare to move forward. What comes next is the beginning of something beautiful, something divine. It is the next step in your journey, and it is waiting for you to claim it. Don't hesitate, don't doubt. Simply allow yourself to be open to what God is about to reveal. This is the time to listen, the time to act, and the time to walk boldly into the next chapter of your life. As you sit in this moment, reflecting on your recent success, it's natural to feel a mix of emotions. While you may have achieved something significant, you also feel an undercurrent of shakiness, almost as if your body and mind are still processing what has happened. There's an unsettling awareness that you have crossed a threshold, and while that achievement is tangible, it hasn't yet settled fully into your being. You may wonder, how did I get here? Am I truly ready for this? The shaking you feel is not a sign of failure or weakness. It is, in fact, an indicator of growth. You stood in the face of uncertainty, in the presence of fear, and you moved forward anyway. This internal tumult, this whirlwind of emotions, is the natural result of walking through a door that you once thought was beyond your reach. But what you need to understand, and what God is speaking to you right now, is that you acted despite the fear. The fear didn't disappear, but you chose to step forward with trembling hands and a hesitant heart. And that is where true courage is found. It's easy to look at your success and believe it was purely due to your bravery. But the truth is, you took this step despite not feeling fully ready. You acted with doubts and questions swirling in your mind, and that's precisely what made it an act of courage. Many people believe that courage comes only when fear is absent, but that's not true. Courage is forged when you act despite fear. It is the resolve to keep moving forward, even when every part of you is uncertain. Remember, courage is not about feeling confident at every moment. It's about trusting in God's plan and moving in obedience, even when your confidence feels incomplete. The people around you may not have seen your internal struggle, but God saw it. He saw your heart and your willingness to trust Him in the midst of uncertainty. It was in that choice to move forward, even though you couldn't see the whole picture, that you showed the courage that has brought you to this moment of success. God's definition of courage is different from the world's. The world tells us that courage means to face our fears and act with a sense of unwavering confidence. But that's not what God calls courage. True courage, according to God, is the ability to trust in His strength and His plan, even when your own strength is faltering, and even when fear feels like it's consuming you. In this moment of reflection, you may not feel like you've fully conquered the fear or uncertainty that surrounded you before, but that's the beauty of God's design. Courage, according to God, is built in moments of weakness. It is in those moments of fear that He shows up the most, meeting you with the strength you don't feel you have. It's in those moments of doubt that He strengthens your resolve and helps you stand tall. Courage, therefore, isn't about eliminating fear. It's about trusting God with that fear. and allowing Him to lead you through it. Looking back on what you've accomplished, it's important to understand that your success was not solely due to your own bravery or efforts. While you took the steps, made the decisions, and acted, it was God who met you in the process. The success is not just a result of your willingness to take action, it is a result of your obedience to God's will. God has been working with you every step of the way, even when you couldn't see Him. When you stepped out in faith, it wasn't merely your courage that carried you. It was God's presence in that moment, His power working through you, that enabled you to achieve what you once thought was impossible. You made the choice to step out, but it was God who provided the strength you needed to keep moving forward, even when it felt like you had nothing left. This is where God's power truly shines. In those moments when you felt like you couldn't go on, when you thought you were too weak to continue, God met you with His strength. He provided the energy, the wisdom, and the courage you needed to overcome the obstacles in your path. God's power was made perfect in your weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. And in those moments of weakness, you were able to experience His strength in ways that you never would have if you had relied solely on your own abilities. The beauty of God's intervention is that He doesn't wait for you to be fully ready or fully confident before He acts. He meets you where you are in your imperfect state and helps you move forward. This is the grace that God offers. He empowers you to fulfill His plan, even when you feel like you're not enough. He takes your trembling steps and turns them into a confident stride, leading you into the destiny He has prepared for you. As you reflect on this journey, it's important to recognize the significance of what you've experienced. You have stepped into a new phase, one that has required immense courage and trust in God. The fear and doubt you experienced were not signs of weakness. They were indicators of the strength that God has cultivated in you. Your success is not just a result of your own effort, but a testament to God's grace, His provision, and His ability to work through you. Now, as you continue on your path, remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to trust God even when fear is present. The success you've experienced is only the beginning. There is much more ahead, and with God's strength, you can continue to walk in faith. Move beyond your fears and fulfill the purpose He has designed for you. So, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Recognize that your journey filled with doubts and challenges has been a path of spiritual growth. And as you move forward, know that you are not alone. God is with you, providing the strength and courage you need for the next step of your journey. As you stand now reflecting on your victory, it's important to recognize the internal battles, doubts, and moments of weakness that you've experienced along the way. It's easy to look at where you are now and feel accomplished, but it's essential to acknowledge the quiet struggles that led to this moment. These struggles were not obvious to the outside world, nor were they easily shared or seen by others. Yet, within those quiet moments of uncertainty, God was present. There were times when you doubted your progress, when it seemed like nothing was moving forward. And perhaps in your most vulnerable moments, you felt unseen, unheard, or forgotten. But it's in these very moments that your character was being refined and the divine strength within you was growing. Every moment of struggle, no matter how small it seemed, was not wasted. They were all stepping stones leading you closer to the breakthrough you have now. In these quiet struggles, when the world couldn't see your efforts, God was still at work. Every tear, every prayer, every small decision to keep moving forward was not unseen. God was present in your quietest battles, giving you strength when you thought you had none left. Even when it seemed like nothing was happening, God was aligning your steps with His perfect plan. During those moments when you felt like no one was watching, or when you began to question your path, God was right there with you. He saw every decision to move forward, every time you chose faith over fear, and every effort you made, no matter how insignificant it seemed. It's easy to feel unnoticed in the quiet struggles of life, but it's in those moments that God is shaping and molding you. He doesn't look at success in the same way we do. He sees the heart, the faithfulness, and the resilience behind every step. Even when you couldn't see it, God was working, and He was preparing you for this moment of victory. The quiet struggles you experienced were not wasted. They were the foundation for the success you now enjoy. God used those moments to build your character, to strengthen your resolve, and to prepare you for the breakthrough that was coming. It's easy to underestimate the power of the small steps you took along the way. Sometimes we get caught up in the big flashy moments of success and forget that every small effort counts. But the truth is that every effort, no matter how small or insignificant it seemed at the time, was noticed by God. God sees every detail. He sees the sacrifices you made, the late nights, the early mornings, the moments when you chose perseverance over giving up, and the times you decided to trust Him when you felt like everything was falling apart. These small actions, these quiet moments of obedience, were the foundation for the breakthrough you are now experiencing. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a mighty tree, your efforts were working quietly behind the scenes to prepare you for this moment. God sees the heart behind every action, and He rewards faithfulness. Your breakthrough is not just a result of your big decisions, but of your consistent obedience, even when it felt like nothing was happening. The victory you are experiencing didn't come from perfection or from never doubting. It came from your willingness to move forward in obedience even while you were unsure. Success isn't about perfection. It's about the willingness to trust God, even when you don't have all the answers. In those moments, when you felt unsure, God was using your obedience to align you with His timing. You didn't have to know everything, but you trusted Him. You moved forward despite fear, despite doubt, and despite uncertainty. And it was in that movement, in that continued trust and obedience, that God was able to work His plan in your life. Obedience is not just about following rules or checking boxes. It's about trusting God with your future, even when you can't see the full picture. When you chose to move forward in faith, you were positioning yourself for a breakthrough. Every step, no matter how small, was contributing to the alignment of your life with God's purpose. Too often, we think that success requires perfection, but the truth is that success comes from the willingness to move forward, even when you're not sure where the path leads. God doesn't expect you to have it all figured out. He doesn't require you to be perfect. What He desires is your trust, your obedience, and your willingness to take the next step, even if you can't see the entire journey ahead. The key to your success lies not in your ability to be perfect, but in your ability to keep going, even when you don't feel fully prepared. The breakthrough you're experiencing today is the result of your willingness to trust God, even when you didn't feel ready, and even when you doubted yourself. Your journey was not one of perfection, but of persistence. As you look back on your journey, remember that every step of obedience, no matter how small or uncertain, was used by God to shape your path and bring you to this moment. Your willingness to continue, even when you didn't feel fully prepared or confident, is what has brought you to your victory. Your journey has not been easy, and it hasn't always been clear. But through every quiet struggle, every step of obedience, and every act of faith, God has been working in your life. Your victory today is not just a result of your own efforts, but of your trust and obedience to God's plan. As you reflect on this moment, remember that your success is not a result of perfection, but of your willingness to move forward, even when you didn't have all the answers. God has been with you every step of the way, strengthening you, guiding you, and aligning you with His purpose. Now, as you step into the next phase of your journey, trust that He will continue to lead you, and that every effort you make will continue to contribute to the great things He has planned for your life. Your journey is far from over. In fact, it's only just beginning. Keep moving forward in faith, trusting that God will continue to guide you every step of the way. You've made it this far because of your obedience, and you will continue to move forward because of God's faithfulness. The journey you're on has been marked by moments of fear, doubt, and hesitation. Yet the fear you've experienced is not a sign of failure. It's an integral part of your growth process. Fear, while uncomfortable, is a powerful tool that can foster personal transformation. It shows you where you are being called to grow, and more importantly, where you are being stretched in faith. Many people believe that in order to succeed, they must overcome fear entirely. They see fear as a barrier, something to be removed in order to move forward. But the truth is that fear doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. It's a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and onto new ground. The absence of fear is not the goal. The ability to move forward despite fear is the key to growth. As you continue on your journey, you will find that the more you lean into your fear and press through it with trust, the more you will grow into the person you were meant to be. Fear often arises in moments of great change or when you are being stretched beyond your current capacity. However, it is in these moments that you are being prepared for greater things. Fear becomes a tool for growth when you allow it to motivate you to take action, to trust God's presence, and to remain faithful even when your confidence fluctuates. Rather than viewing fear as a hindrance, start seeing it as a tool that God uses to refine your character. It is through fear that you can cultivate courage, resilience, and perseverance. Fear signals that you are walking in unknown territory where growth is necessary. It encourages you to depend more on God and less on your own understanding. Fear also forces you to examine what you value most and pushes you to take steps that align with your deepest desires and purpose. If you didn't care about what you were doing, fear wouldn't have a hold on you. It's because you are on the brink of something bigger that fear rises to challenge you. This is not an indication that you shouldn't proceed, but rather that you are on the right path. Fear tests your commitment to the process, and when trusted, can propel you toward success. The road ahead may not always seem clear, and confidence may come and go. There will be highs where you feel certain of your direction, and there will be lows where you question your path. In those low moments, remember that God is not absent. He is with you, guiding you through each phase of the journey, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It is easy to think that confidence is the key to moving forward, but true trust in God's guidance often exists outside of the realm of human confidence. Trusting God doesn't mean that you are always sure of the path ahead. It means you are willing to take the next step, even when the path is unclear, even when your confidence fluctuates. Confidence in yourself can waver, but confidence in God should remain constant. The ability to trust in God even when your own confidence wavers is crucial. This trust comes from a deep understanding that God's plan is bigger than your understanding. His guidance is constant, and He has never led you astray. Every step you take with faith, even when your feet feel unsteady, is a step towards the fulfillment of His purpose for your life. When you trust in God through every high and low, you move toward your destiny in peace and stability. The journey you are on will not be without its challenges, but every challenge is an opportunity for you to strengthen your trust in God. When everything is going well, it's easy to say, "I trust God." But true trust is revealed in the moments of struggle. When your emotions and thoughts are in turmoil, that is the true test of your faith. Trusting God during the low moments is often where the deepest growth occurs. You learn that God is faithful even when the road is unclear, even when the answers are delayed, and even when your own strength seems to be failing. Trust is not a one-time decision, but a continuous posture, a commitment to surrender each moment, no matter what circumstances arise. When you trust God, through the highs and lows, you develop a deeper connection with Him that becomes unshakable, leading to the fulfillment of your destiny. This moment in your journey is not a destination, but a foundation. You are learning to walk in alignment with God's timing and purpose. The pressure you may feel to succeed or to reach a particular goal is replaced by the peace that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. The key to moving forward is understanding that the journey itself is part of God's design. You are being prepared for something greater, but the growth you are experiencing now is just as important as what lies ahead. The pressure to succeed, the fear of failure, and the anxiety to perform are replaced by the deep knowing that you are in the hands of God. He is guiding you every step of the way, shaping you for the destiny He has planned. This is not a race, it is a process. The transformation you are undergoing is foundational, and it will serve as the launching pad for everything God has for you. This moment is where the seeds of your future are being planted, and what you do today in trusting God's timing and will set the stage for what's to come. True peace and stability come when you understand that your life is not ruled by external circumstances, but by the eternal presence of God. It is not about your ability to control outcomes, but your ability to trust God with them. When you trust in His timing and His presence, you can experience peace even in the midst of uncertainty. In the journey ahead, you may encounter uncertainty, but it is not a sign that God has abandoned you. It is simply a moment where you have the opportunity to trust Him more deeply. Your life is not dictated by the storms around you, but by the stillness and strength of God within you. As you continue to trust in God's timing and presence, you will walk forward in peace, knowing that He is preparing you for something greater. This season of your life is a preparation. The obstacles you face, the challenges you endure, and the times you feel uncertain are all part of the process. Embrace this time of growth and trust that God's purpose for you is unfolding with perfect timing. The journey is long, but with God by your side, every step is a step toward your ultimate destiny. As you stand at the threshold of your next steps, it is important to remember that you are not alone in this journey. God's presence is a constant companion, guiding you with unwavering love, wisdom, and strength. You have not been abandoned or forgotten. He has been with you through every challenge, every moment of uncertainty and every time you doubted your own strength. Now, as you move forward, trust that His presence will continue to lead you. God has been preparing you for this moment, equipping you with the tools, wisdom, and fortitude necessary to navigate what lies ahead. His plan for you is not subject to the changing winds of circumstances. It is anchored in His eternal love for you. You are on the path that He has laid out for you, and as long as you remain open and faithful, He will continue to guide you. It's easy to get caught up in the rush, the pressure, and the noise of life. In those moments of chaos and uncertainty, it is important to pause and remember that you have everything you need within you. You are a child of God, and your identity is rooted in His love and purpose. As you move forward, do so with quiet confidence, not a brash or loud confidence, but a deep, steady trust that you are walking in alignment with God's will. This confidence comes not from your own strength or abilities, but from knowing that you are being guided by a loving, omnipotent Father who has your best interests at heart. Gratitude plays a pivotal role in moving forward with quiet confidence. When life presents challenges or uncertainty, it is easy to fall into a mindset of fear, anxiety, or self-doubt. But gratitude shifts the focus from the obstacles in front of you to the blessings you already have. Take time to reflect on what God has already done for you, on the countless moments of His grace and provision. Embrace gratitude for the journey you've already walked and for the strength He has given you to get this far. Gratitude fills the space where anxiety and fear once resided, helping you cultivate a peaceful heart as you move forward. Faith in tandem with gratitude is what propels you into the future with confidence. Faith isn't just about hoping that things will work out, but about trusting that God is in control, even when the path isn't clear. Faith allows you to walk forward with conviction, knowing that your steps are being ordered by God. Faith is not a passive waiting game. It is an active, courageous choice to move forward, even when everything doesn't make sense. It is about trusting God's timing, His wisdom, and His ability to guide you through the unknown. It is about knowing that even in the absence of clarity, God is at work behind the scenes. As you step into the unknown, trust that the steps you take will be illuminated by His light. Faith doesn't mean that you won't encounter difficulties or that you'll always feel sure about the path ahead. It simply means that you trust in God's promises, that you believe He is with you, and that He is working all things for your good. In every moment of doubt, remember that faith is about clarity in your heart and mind. It is not a decision made in the absence of fear, but a decision made despite it. It is about choosing trust, knowing that God will never leave you or forsake you. As you move forward, take comfort in this: you are not fragile. You have been built and shaped by God for this moment. No matter what the future holds, you are prepared. Your strength is not yours alone, but comes from the God who has been with you every step of the way. You are ready for whatever comes next. You have the courage, the faith, and the grace to face every challenge with the confidence that you are not doing it alone. God is not only guiding you, but He has also equipped you with everything you need to succeed. There is nothing that can shake you because you are firmly rooted in His love. So, move forward in faith, trusting in God's perfect timing and provision. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, and every step you take is part of His divine plan. Trust in His plan, remain anchored in His love, and know that you are fully equipped for the journey ahead.